In all of the films of Satoshi Kon, there is a number of recognizable signatures that make it easy to identify each as one of his works. Every frame a painting noted the considerable number of match-cut transitions that are used to convey the dichotomy of identities of the characters. In Susan Napier's essay, Excuse Me, Who Are You?, she pointed to his tendency to use female characters who are performers of some kind, and noted the common theme of gaze in his films, such as in Perfect Blue, where various gazes reduce Mima to an entity whose sole purpose is to satisfy their own desires, which is emphasized by the voyeuristic shots one might see in a Hitchcock film. In contrast, Millennium Actress took a more optimistic point of view, and shows both the viewer and the performer as contributors to the creation of the narrative of past events, seen under a more nostalgic gaze. However, I would like to point out another common theme in his films: escapism, which is defined as the habitual diversion of the mind to purely imaginative activity or entertainment as an escape from reality or routine. In Satoshi Kon's early works, where he was credited as the writer, there is a common theme of nostalgic escapism, with a number of female characters clinging to something from their past life. In his first short film, Magnetic Rose, the main antagonist is a hologram of a former famous opera singer, Eva Friegel, whose career tragically ended with the loss of her voice and subsequently the death of her partner. To escape from the harshness of her present reality, she retreated to this space mansion that enables her to relive her idealized past life and trap unsuspecting guests to preserve her fantasy. This element of a woman trapped in their past career is also present in Satoshi Kon's adaptation of Perfect Blue, which significantly departs from the source material. Instead of a thriller about Mima's idle career transition from a girl next door to a more adult brand, and her stalker's plan to undermine it, it became a coming-of-age story where the focus is on Mima's emotional turmoil as she struggles to adjust to her new career as an actress, which is represented visually by the ethereal form of idol Mima, who, like Eva's hologram, represents a desire to go back to her place of familiar comfort, which, in Mima's case, is her idol career. Consequently, the adaptation reduces the role of the stalker from being the main driver of the plot as a hell-bent Terminator-like figure determined to keep Mima's idol career pure, to merely a tool for the main antagonist, Kumi, a former failed idol, who appropriated Mima's idol identity as her own to relive her glory days, and, like Eva, uses other people's solutions to undermine Mima's new provocative career that goes against her idea of a pure idol. While Perfect Blue focuses on a few individuals' escapist solutions, Paranoia Agent portrays it with society as a whole with an episodic format that takes a point of view from a variety of loosely connected characters who have their own problems they want to run away from. As with most of Satoshi Kon's work, the plot revolves around an artist, particularly a woman, which in this case is Tsukiko, who due to the pressure to create a new character design to match the popularity of her previous work Marumi, inadvertently created Shonen Bat, which became just as viral, and physically manifested itself as a savior for those who are backed into a corner and hoping for a means of escape. The series compares Mimuro, and by extension the media in general, with Shonen Bat as similar entities that enable escapism to our own detriment, which is visualized literally in episode 10, where a studio desperately tried to finish the Mimuro anime without regard for the lives of the workers themselves. This can also be viewed as criticism for the anime industry that uses underpaid and overworked animators to create shows for other people's entertainment. The show also depicted the audience as guilty participants in episode 9, where the housewives were gossiping about Shonen Bat. Despite the number of lives the rampage already claimed, the housewives treated the deaths as mere cheap entertainment, and even made up more surreal stories as if the real incidents were mere fiction made to pass the time. While the previously mentioned works look at escapism as detrimental because it promotes people to run away from their problems, the succeeding works we would discuss look at it as a tool for personal growth. After his success in Perfect Blue, he directed another movie that utilizes his unconventional style of editing, with a film that pays homage to the different eras of Japanese cinema, Millennium Actress. Millennium Actress is a pseudo-biographical documentary about a fictional actress named Choco who spent her career searching for her first love. Even though this man left a very large impression on Choco as her main motivation to start and pursue her career, she barely knew anything about the guy other than he was a fugitive artist. She didn't even know his name, which was reflected in Choco's fantastic reimaginings of her past life, where he was mostly a mysterious, absent figure, and serves merely as a plot device for the various heroines to take action. He was less of a character and more of a goal that gave meaning to Choco's life, and a means of escape from a fate of being a simple housewife that her mother tried to force on her. In the end, even though she never reunited with the man she spent her life searching for, she felt content and realized that, rather than the goal, what she really loved was the journey, which was her acting career in film. Film also took a central role in Satoshi Kon's most recent adaptation, Paprika, where the similarities of film and dreams are explored. Compared to the book, cinema took a more significant role as adaptation made a former aspiring filmmaker as a main patient, who struggles with the guilt of abandoning his old film partner, which is resolved by finishing their uncompleted project with Paprika as the main actress. Paprika is somewhat comparable to the idol persona of Mima, as both entities serve as a vessel for the desire of the audience, which the main patient takes the role of. It is noted in the book that due to the nature of the treatment, that there is a tendency for both the patient and the therapist to develop a close bond that could be easily mistaken as a love, which is comparable to how the stalker from Perfect Blue felt a false sense of connection with the idol persona of Mima. While Perfect Blue portrays this as a destructive phenomenon, Paprika sees it as an aid for the treatment of patients who would be more inclined to trust someone whom they have an affection for, while the stalker from Perfect Blue fully believed that Mima's real and idol personas are one entity. The main patient from Paprika was able to see the two identities as distinct personas independent from one another. While most of Satoshi Kon's work takes a more definitive side on whether escapism is a positive or negative activity, Tokyo Godfathers takes a more centrist stance, and coincidentally, it's also the most grounded among Satoshi Kon's work. It is a story about three homeless persons searching for the mother of a baby that they found in a dumpster. One might assume that this film looks down on escapism as the characters use homelessness as a means of escape, from simply swallowing their pride and go to the people that would care for them. However, the baby can also be seen as a form of escape, as it gave them a false sense of being needed by someone, and by extension each other, even though simply reporting the baby to the police could have easily solved the main plot. This film can be compared to episode 8 of Paranoia Agent, which had a similar set of characters who eventually came to see each other as family. However, instead of searching for a mother, their main goal here is to find the most painless way to kill themselves. After several failed attempts, it was eventually revealed that they already died, presumably when they took deadly amounts of medicine in the sealed room. Perhaps the baby gave the trio from Tokyo Godfathers a sense of purpose that the trio from Paranoia Agent did not have, and may have saved them from aggravating their situation further. The reason why these themes of escapism is present in all of Satoshi Kon's films is maybe due to the fact that he tells stories with characters who are not initially emotionally strong enough to directly face their personal problems, and Satoshi Kon's unconventional editing style is well suited to visualizing their fantasies.